Hey, what's up, everyone? Welcome to Smash University. Today, we're going to be talking about the winners, the losers, just the patch in general. This is the final patch of Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. I'm kind of sad that it's the last patch, but it is what it is. There's pros and cons that come with that. But I mean, I guess jumping right into it, we all know that Min Min got shit on once again. No one likes
Yeah,
Min Min.
man. Yeah. I mean, this one actually isn't too much of a surprise. I think through the course of Ultimate, we've kind of come to terms that it seems like they are paying attention a little bit to the Japanese Smash scene, right?
Yeah.
And so we've seen some nerfs reflect that here and there. And of course, we know that Japan was really worried about Min Min. There was a lot of people who did not like the character, and you have Proto Banham, who's by far the best Min Min out there. So definitely was able to showcase the character, and I think I think the team responded in kind, right? So the
Right.
character, for the most part, Nair got nerfed, which is a really big one, a big sweeping hitbox. One of the better tools for her to get out of boxing range and everything like that. Right, it's a really safe overall tool. Set up a lot of combos as well, but now got reduced. It's got some more overall lag, right? So good. And then the forward smash isn't as active either. So that was really nice. I think the biggest one to me though is really the fact that it doesn't do as much shield
Right.
damage as well. I think that's a huge one because that was kind of a problem as well, right? She'd be able to kind of box you and put you in situations where it's like, am I going to get my shield broken for this? And am I going to get shield poked for this? I got to move, right? And now you don't have to have those fears.
Yeah, yeah, and even just like increased vulnerability on the Nair and all that other stuff. All these little things they kind of add up. Min Min as well is like so volatile of a character that I feel like when you start hitting her strengths like this, I mean, I still think I think in general the idea of Min Min, I don't like that her arms are swords. Like I think they should count as hurt boxes because that's just even just how like Dhalsim from like Street Fighter and other fighting games like that. When you have range like
Mm-hmm.
this, there's like commitment to a point where you can get whiff punished on like whatever you're extending out, right? Min Min, I mean in Smash they don't adhere to a lot of rules and like traditional fighters, like you can grab and block stun and like stupid stuff like that. But yeah, I just when I saw the character design, I was just like, wow, they're really like just gonna go super, and then they're like, okay, well, bad recovery, right? Which is like kind of a thing, but not really because you can like swing an arm and then jump and like kind of cover yourself with your double jump, right? So obviously she does have a bad recovery, but just very volatile. Japan wasn't a really big fan of this, which is interesting because I mean I guess it makes sense because a lot of Japan likes to play like conservative, and Min Min shits on that kind of play style. So if you try to play conservative, Min Min's just like, oh well, you can't play at this range. Like I'm the queen at this range. So yeah, I mean I think it's justified. Feels bad for Min Min mains, but I personally think the a lot of I think the character's like kind of toxic, but I mean I just think it's toxic because not because it's like oh it's just like a ranged character. It's more so like there's like almost no commitment when you throw out an arm because you can like move, right? Like
No,
I
yeah.
wouldn't mind if you couldn't move, or like they just gave her like oh all this range and you can move like after the range or jump after the range you do this and stuff like that. Like I'm like dang, this is so crazy. So I'm not
Yeah.
like too surprised.
Yeah, me neither. I think I think they're pretty warranted. I don't think they are going to destroy the character either, too, which I
Yeah, I
do
think
like.
yeah.
The character still be strong, and I think over time, as people get better with the character, they will see that as well. So, not too big, but of course, quite a bit of DLC got hit, right? We know Pyra got hit, right, with some stuff. The biggest one was her Blazing End, right? Her side special. One of the things, though, is even though it has increased vulnerability, um, it's still relatively safe. Like so, for those of you unaware, the aerial version of Blazing End has less lag, right? And so a lot of times people would do that anyways. You just do the jump cancel one, and then you're in a good spot. I think that one now is at 51 frames cooldown instead. So it's still a situation where it's like it was a slap on the wrist, honestly, for that. Um, when it comes down to Mithra on the side, they they adjusted, like, for both of them, they adjusted lengths of like the animations, whatever it may be. So I think they might be actually bigger so they can actually get hit. Um, Mithra, they did that to her as well. There would be issues with Mithra, and Palutena is another character too, where it's like because of how they bounce, like you can't really jab block them in certain situations.
Yeah, that was
So that's cool
annoying.
that got changed. And then the forward smash for Mithra was reduced in terms of the launch distance, right? In terms of the knockback overall, which I think is great because that move is
So stupid.
yeah, it's like it's so huge, right? It's so quick, has relatively low cooldown, and just because of the hit lag of her in general, it's one of those things where like, wait, did she just do smash? Oh well, I'm too late. I can't punish it, and I'm not going to really get a strong punish on it. So it was one of her tools that was really good, and it allowed her to kill earlier than she's quote unquote supposed to be able to. So I do like they actually went and made that reduction there. Not too big of a thing, but at least getting some kind of stuff done there. So I like that.
Yeah, I honestly I don't think anyone's like no one's gonna move their position of Pyro or Mythra on their own tier list or where how
Right.
big the strength is. Like I don't think they've really. It's like they technically got nerfed, but it like you said, it was more of like a slap on the wrist.
Yeah,
In my opinion, I still think they're like a top 3 character, and like I
I
said,
agree.
even no matter where you had them before, like you probably aren't gonna really change it. And then like Steve, they got their like up smash infinite thing taken away, right? Or like the where you can like block
Hmm.
up smash, which I think is funny because the Steve should have just held back on their tech and not posted anything until after the last patch, because they announced that this was the last patch. So,
Yeah, it was
but I
funny
mean,
and
I
they
don't know.
just kept doing it. Like but yeah, it is pretty funny that happened. I do believe from what I heard from Steve's, they did also make nil a bit harder to do.
Oh, really?
Um, at least from what I've heard. I still need to do my own due diligence on that, but I did hear about that. So we'll see how that goes. It's still there. At
Right.
the end of the day, and a lot of the tech that they did study and they work on seems to still exist. So I do like that. I think yeah, for the up smash string and like infinite stuff like that, it's good that that stuff is out because that stuff was pretty ridiculous. It seems like you can still combo out of up smash anyway, so they shouldn't be too upset. But taking out the craziness, right? That could have been almost future proofing the character because character's got some ridiculous strings, right? We already know we've seen all the touch of deaths that he has. So again, not too crazy of a hit, but I think maybe down the line that could be more meaningful than we initially see it. So
Yeah, yeah. And then I guess just going technically wait, this is funny. Like Falco and Wario got buffs, but they're troll buffs. Like they don't matter in my opinion,
yeah,
like at all. But I think this patch was nice because they I feel like they buffed a little bit more than they usually buff. Like so I mean we have characters like Donkey Kong that got pretty significant buffs in my opinion. I don't
yep,
think it'll necessarily really change that much he is like where he is on the tier list and stuff like that or his tournament viability just because Donkey Kong is bad because of his disadvantage and they didn't change anything about his disadvantage but his advantage state's better so I mean like I just don't think we're going to see like more Donkey Kong in top level um it's just my opinion I
yeah,
think he's still technically better though Ice
yeah, for sure.
Climbers Rosalina Inkling Meta Knight, Link, Ryu, Bowser Jr., Piranha Plant, Mega Man, all like pretty significant buffs in my opinion. Even
Yeah, no,
even like Cloud too, because like I think that
yep.
up tilt finishing touch is a pretty big deal.
Yeah, that's one's pretty crazy, and then of course now because it's that one frame faster, he can actually do it in a jab lock situation. So that makes just some of his throws situations just a lot more volatile than they were before, which is pretty cool, and even like platform stuff. So I do like that. Quickly, just going back to Donkey Kong, I do think that Donkey Kong getting that down tilt is pretty good. There was initial times in the very like early percents, like at zero, where it was
Negative on
unsafe
hit.
on hit. Yeah, it was
Dude,
negative on
Donkey
hit.
Kong has been
Um,
bitching about that.
yes,
All
for
the Donkey Kong community has been complaining about that for like day one,
yes, from
and they
day one they've
finally
been and
got it on the last patch. Thank
right.
God.
Yeah, so really happy about that for them. And what was really really cool with the move now is that at kill percents you do get down tilt into bear. So he does have a new kill confirm. He also gets down tilt in the dash grab in certain situations. And in the one outside of the window, you still get a 50-50 because either they run up and bear you and you die, or they run up and grab you, and they literally just go and just toss you off, right? So it's a situation where you can get a corner carry into a grab, and you can get cargo throw off the side. So pretty sick stuff. Links are pretty crazy as well. I think his jab getting faster is kind of nice for him,
Yeah.
to help him kind of in the boxing range. Down tilt getting the buffs it did are pretty gnarly. He does have like fair one into down tilt. He's had that before. And you see it on even like the young Link, right? But now on like adult Link gets to do the fair one down tilt into up B, and that thing can kill really early. Up smash is a stronger kill move, and it's really good coverage in general in juggling situations, which is really nice. Gets down tilt in the up air, and even if he catches you, gets a 2-frame or catches you just sleeping on the ledge, you can do down tilt the forward smash. Like that's something that can kill you at like 50s, 60s percent, right? So that character has always been a sleeper in my opinion, and it's kind of crazy that he got these like kind of final buffs there. So it'll be interesting to note. Ice climbers, I know you talked about before. Up B is cool because you do get up tilt and up B. I do believe it's DI dependent though, but you do have that kind of that kill confirm now. So a couple of these characters are getting some nice things here and there, like you said, some actual meaningful buffs. So
Yeah, I think Link and Ice Climbers are examples too. Like Donkey Kong got significant buffs, but the things that made him like a mid tier or low tier, depending on your opinion, for the most part, like those are still there. But characters like Link and Ice Climbers are usually known as like high tiers. Some people may even think top tier, but general community thinks like Link and Ice Climbers are like high tier. But the fact that like when high tiers get buffs like this, then it's like okay now in terms of competitive play, because like when I'm
right,
looking at all this stuff, it's just in sheer like competitive play, right? So Mewtwo is kind of another character that's, I mean, Wadi has been doing good with Mewtwo. I know a lot of
mm-hmm.
people think Mewtwo isn't the greatest, but Wadi's been making it work. So these slight buffs definitely could help, right? The side tilt being it was already a pretty solid medium move. It's increased power, increased launch distance, so they like really made it strong because I think power is like damage, and then there's launch
Yeah,
distance. Forward throw, more damage. That's just nice. Meta
yeah,
Knight felt like got a pretty long
yes,
list of buffs.
yeah,
I'm very interested to see if we'll see more Meta Knights coming out, making results. Meta Knight was always that character where it's like it was really hard for me to ever put Meta Knight on a tier list. I'm like, I don't know if he's mid tier, I don't know if he's high tier. Like he should be good. Like when you look at the
right,
character's tools, right? Like multiple jumps, like back air and nair for edge guarding. Every special is like an incredible recovery tool,
yep.
but just never really made a splash in the competitive scene. So maybe these buffs will give him like enough push and enough oomph to kind of get there.
Yeah, I think they will, man. Just kind of seeing already. That bear has always been insanely strong,
Mhm.
right? And now it's gotten stronger. A lot of Meta Knights have been getting better with some of these confirms too. I've seen them go for a like down tilt into reverse back or dare into
Mhm.
back air, right? And now that kills like again at like 60, 70%, right? Off the side. So a lot of good stuff there. It seems like fair stuff is going to be better too because of the increased power, it increased damage, which means that you should have more hits done, right? Same thing with some of the back air stuff. So a lot of the stuff that they've already kind of been tried and true with Meta Knight seem to be a bit more efficient. Up smash is greater. It a lot of times you'd have a problem when you kind of fall out of it, right? Or you want to get scooped up initially. So
Right.
now he can kind of dash in on some landings and get kills that way as well, instead of having to go for the shuttle loop, which sometimes you whiff, right? So at tilt as well, before even this buff, like it already kind of was a better kill move. Like it was kind of a kill move that he had, right? At kind of somewhat like the 130, 140 or range or whatever, depending on obviously the weight of the characters, of course. But now it does increase damage and it does has a greater launch distance, right? The KO power. So overall, like that's going to be some. Oh, sorry, I'm not even talking. I'm going me too. I'm tripping. But like for like when we go back to like Meta Knight, like it looks like he's going to be in a really good spot. I'm really excited to see what they're going to be able to do with the character. There, it seems like a lot of the Meta Knight mains are pretty excited. But like you said, like there's also a couple of these buffs that just look like they really don't do anything. That jab for Wario,
I
I'm not
thought
sure.
I thought it was Nair when I first read it. I was like, whoa, like this is crazy. And then I was like, wait, neutral. And then I was like, wait a minute. Oh, it's his jab. I
Yeah,
was like, oh, it doesn't
jab.
matter. Troll buffs, troll buffs.
Right. Yeah, definitely troll buffs. I'm not sure if it's funny because they've actually been putting in a couple things where you can do a jab that combos into something, right? We kind of saw that with Jigs, right? Got the jab into back air. Of course, for DK, it's the down tilt now into back air. So it seems like they're kind of doing some like quick stuff like that too. I don't know if Wario has anything there. It seems like for the most part, just going to be wow, jab got a little better, great. Ike, hey, Ike can actually kill now with his jab, so that's kind of interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Did hear that's pretty cool from people. Up smash is killing earlier for Ike. It's still the kind of situation, like you said before, where some of these characters they're just really leaning into the archetype. They're not really covering up the weaknesses of these characters. So we'll see if someone can kind of push that stuff further
Yeah, Ike seems like
there.
a little bit more niche. Like like the buffs,
Mm-hmm.
like obviously if you're an Ike main, you take it, but it's nothing like, oh my god, like it's nothing like up tilt finishing touch with Cloud, or at least as far as we know, right? But like
Yeah.
doesn't seem like anything in here is like, okay, well, up smash got buffed, or like, oh, now I can combo this into like a like the biggest things when it comes to buffs and stuff like that, like, you know, obviously you can just crank the numbers and make a move just like ridiculously stronger, do ridiculous more damage. But usually it's kind of like, okay, do I have a new confirm or something like that, right? Or it's like, oh, is my like Link's up smash, I believe, getting buffed is like really a common scenario because you up smash out of shield, right?
Yeah.
Or if they increase the grounded up B knockback. Like there's moves that it matters more for. Like Ike up smash, it's great that that got buffed, but I mean if you got hit by Ike up smash, like you got like ultra hard red, you know what I mean? Like
Mm-hmm.
the fact that you're dying like maybe a little bit earlier off of that, I don't think like you getting hit by up smash is not as a common scenario as you getting hit by link up smash because link up
Right.
smash is like out of shield. It's just faster too, so you can use it as an anti-air stuff like that.
Right.
So you got to think of like the common scenarios that are going to happen. And
Yep.
even for Mega Man, I think like there's only three buffs here: side special, increased power. I don't know how big of a deal that is, but doesn't sound like a big deal. Dash attack, extended launch distance for final attack, increased attack speed. So faster dash attack, so his burst option is quicker. That's like a pretty big deal. You're usually not going to be dash attacking too much, but I think the big one is the down smash, extended the damage range downward for down smash. So sounds like they want to make it so Mega Man down smash can two frame. So two framing is a scenario that happens quite often in this game. So if that's the case, I think that's a really good look for Mega Man.
Yeah. Yeah, man. So like that was a pretty interesting one, man. Like it again, like it seems like there's just a couple interesting things they've gone here. I think Ryu are really big. They pretty much made uh, him a better zoner. That's something that they've been doing through the course of the game's patches. Finally, they went ahead and increased the attack power, which is a huge one. It's just above now where it can get to that threshold where it will go through Mega Man Lemons, right? It will go through some of these smaller zoning tools that we've seen. I'm actually really curious to see if it's going to be able to now go through some of these like Mario Fireball, Luigi Fireball, whatever. But now it has kind of more because it does more damage. By that kind of priority system, we'll kind of go through things, and it's great too because that you're also getting situations where you're gonna it should be easier to combo into right as well. They went ahead and took the collarbone breaker. They made that faster. So with that combination in tandem with the changes to Hadouken and Shakunetsu being the red fireball, of course, now you have a guaranteed shield breaker in aerial red fireball dash up collarbone breaker, right? So cool stuff for Ryu, just becoming a stronger zoner. I think at this point now, there is a very valid case for people who, if you do play the Shotos, to learn both. And there are going to be quite a bit of situations where you'd probably want to elect to go Ryu over Ken, which we've literally have not had during the course of this game's lifespan. So that's pretty cool to see on the Shoto level. I don't think it's too overbearing, but it's definitely, you know, he can play his different game, which is pretty cool. But Inkling, bro, like, can we talk about Inkling, man?
I can't believe they buffed Inkling. I just think it's so troll that like the way Nintendo buffs, they pretty much take information from Elite Smash, which is like I kind of get it. I guess that's their target audience, right? So they want the experience. Like I'm pretty sure they don't really care too much about every player's like tournament experience, right? That's like nothing to do with Nintendo for the most part,
Hmm.
or maybe in the future it will, but like for now, not really, right? So they use the data off of Elite Smash, but so I guess it's not really troll in terms of Nintendo's POV, but for our POV, like as competitors in the game, it's really troll. Um, and Inkling got buffed because I mean I think one Inkling's not the greatest online, so I guess Inkling's win rate's not that great, and I also think people just suck with Inkling. So yeah, they buff neutral B. I think that's the biggest one. The
Hmm.
tilts are kind of like usually you want to be in the air with Inkling, but now maybe with all these buffs to the tilts, maybe there's more reasons to kind of give and see this is the kind of buffs that like really kind of shake things up in my opinion when you
Hmm.
grab a character's tools that like were trash and you
Yeah,
try to justify them, right?
I agree.
So now it's like, is our Inklings going to play more grounded? The neutral B buff was just like that. That move was already broken. So I don't know. Like I saw that and I literally couldn't believe it.
Oh yeah, I lost my mind when I
I,
saw that range,
that
dude.
was like the one change that like made my jaw drop.
Yeah,
I was like, wow, that
yeah.
actually happened.
Yeah, man. And it's funny because, like you said, it's already a ridiculously move. Some Inklings would use it here and there, but oh yeah, for some people who are like just they connoisseurs of the move, right? Like they showed how ridiculous that like just general getting that damage, getting that win box, and so it's insane that it has the range it has now. Um, in tandem with that character's dash, because now this character can kind of just run around, and just be like chilling, like I'm just gonna get extra damage, dude. I don't care. I can just actually just shoot you. I can zone you out. So that is huge.
With the
And I
ink
love.
reload being shorter cooldown too, that goes
Yep,
with the neutral B. Like it pairs up with the
exactly.
neutral B. So
Yep, yeah. So it's like it's shorter. It's harder for you to hit them. One of the big things for me too, going back to the tilts, we all know that one of the greatest things that Inkling has is that dash, right? And being essentially invulnerable with that dash.
right.
And a lot of times the problem was like it didn't really matter as much outside of the grab. But now, and the jab, of course. But now, like you said, up tilt seems to be a thing, right?
Yeah,
F tilt seems to be a thing.
better
So,
up tilt better against grounded opponents. Side
right.
tilt has increased power and launch distance. So like dashing forward and side tilting might be pretty good to close out stocks instead of like
Yep.
fishing for the bear and stuff like that. So I think these Inkling buffs are pretty significant.
Yeah, I definitely agree on that, man. I mean, heck, Inklings are already kind of trying to kill at some of the late percents when they couldn't find anything with F tilt. So I imagine now with it getting not only increased power, right, like just getting that extra damage, but also extending the launch distance. Like it seems like it should be a pretty viable kill option now out of a insane dash. So but that to me is going to be wild. They're going to just slide across the screen and you can't touch them at all, and like probably just go through your move and then F tilt you and you die. So it's going to be big. And but I mean, we saw some here. Ridley got increased power on the dash attack. It's like cool, I guess. They that is a really good burst option, and it is a kill burst option. So for it to be a better tool there, that's good on them. We'll see what they'll do with that. Piranha Plant, I also think Piranha Plant's buffs seem pretty solid. I think that
Yeah,
getting down tilt being like better in terms of like the cooldown, that and getting like
making it
increased
meteor.
frames there.
Yep,
Yeah,
making
it's
it
just like
meteor.
meteor. That's just going to be good, right? Because you can get a lot of combos from that on Piranha Plant side. Um, Down special takes less time, right? That's going to be kind of the you fall down more quickly before you extend out, which is really great because that can help in terms of potentially edge guarding people with that move. Protecting your own recovery, and even F tilt. F tilt now is it can be a kill move now. So I do think these Piranha Plant buffs are pretty cool. I'm interested to see like what's going to take place with that character. Now you probably can do things like it's probably going to be easier to do down tilt into neutral B into up air and stuff. So I could see those extended combos that Piranha Plant has that traditionally were a little bit harder to do because you had to get like a landing up air or whatever it may be. Those may potentially be on the table now. So this character may just get a better damage output just knowing that you have these kind of options. Like you have multiple options to kind of set that situation up. So yeah, man, it's this patch definitely did more than I thought. I honestly thought they were going to just go the super safe mode and
Like they have been for the last 3 years
right. And
or
it's like,
2 years.
why touch it? Especially when it's like most people are okay with the balance. Yeah, they wish this character could do this and that. Most people are okay with it, right? And I think if I'm looking from their point of view, I would just be like, yeah, so I'll just leave it. Whatever. It's good enough. Everyone likes it, it's good enough. So I think it's crazy that they took these changes. I'm interested to see how they're going to work. Um, yeah, man, there's definitely a couple characters that could shake up the meta this way. So
Yep.
we will see.
And the fact that there is no more patches, it's going to be a whole different game. We'll have a separate video for you guys on that one. But until that video comes up, I hope you guys enjoyed this patch review. Kind of just us going over what we really thought were the big takeaways from the patch, and even kind of going over like what makes like which kind of buffs are stronger, which are weaker, or like what types of buffs and all that. So I hope you guys enjoyed all the content. Let us know what your favorite changes are for this patch in the comments below, and we'll be seeing you guys next time.
Peace.